there's a couple tools that I'll just highlight from the library, which really help reinforce this idea of using the job description as a management tool. So one of them is a process called one-on-one meetings. So I'm going over here to guiding the business. And if you go add from process library right here, you'll find this process in the process library. And it's called employee one-on-one meetings. I have it right here. So this is a really simple process. This is one of those processes in TouchStone where I think, if somebody just uses this and nothing else, then this is money well spent on a system like TouchStone. Hopefully you would use more than that, but a simple process like this one could really go a long way. So this is about just having a regular time where you meet with your employees one-on-one. This is a no-brainer. It's not rocket science. This is something you probably all have thought of before. It really helps, a process like this really helps to teach a manager to effectively use the job description as a management tool. So set a schedule for these meetings. It could be once a week, which is nice. It could be once a month. I would say once a quarter at absolute minimum. If that's all you can do and you can give me a huge list of reasons why, fine. But once a quarter would be the minimum. Once a month sometimes is a better, a more doable situation given your schedule, but once a week, is the gold standard, I would say. In this meeting, you sit down with the employee. It could be a half an hour. It could be an hour. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of time. And that's your time to sit with that person one-on-one and really talk to them about what's going on. You can talk about intangible things like how are they feeling? How is their life going? Contact like that is good for a manager to have. It shows that you care, even if you don't care. So some amount of that. But most of it is about how's work going. Let's look at the processes on the job description. Let's go over those together. How is your meeting follow-up going? How are you feeling when people walk in the door and your ability to make them feel comfortable? What's happening with the phone system and how the messages come in? How's that going? So you use the job description as an agenda for the meeting. There's this little custom form in here that you can use, and it's got action areas. So here it says items to discuss, and you could go to the job description and put in, the top 3 processes you want to talk about. And then you could have goals for those processes. So things that you want the employee to focus on. It could be the documenting of a process. It doesn't necessarily have to be how they're doing that process. It could be the documenting. You could put goals for next period. You could put identify or resolve any work or personal issues going on. So this is just a really simple meeting agenda form that a manager can use. You can go, I'm just going to make sure this is on my job description. Yep. You can go in the dashboard as a manager. So I'm going back to the dashboard here. I'm clicking my position. Here's that one-on-one meeting process, the same one. It's just been linked to my job description. And I select it, and then I could go here to this agenda form. And now these fields are live. I can put in the employee's name. I can put in the date of the meeting. Here I can put items to discuss, and these could be processes from the job description. One that I want to talk about this week. It could be 2 or 3. So here I'm filling out all of these goals, what I want to talk about in the meeting, and then I just save it, and now this is in TouchStone. When I'm having these meetings, I literally have these agenda forms open, usually on my iPad. And I don't ever print these things. You could print it, because once you save it, this little print button here allows you to print it. This creates a PDF that you could download somewhere else if you wanted to as well, but you could print it. And so here we just go through this agenda form, and oftentimes I'll go, once I'm done with the meeting, and I'll create the agenda form for the next week. So I'll go agenda meeting, and then I'm making this, that I'm saving as their name, and I put in the next week's date. And then things that I'm off the top of my head that I know I want to talk about, I fill in here. So this is about using the job description and also implementing some effective management processes with employees. This is my job description, manager, theoretically, manager of admin finance. This is my job description. So this process is something I'm accountable for. And I can use it right in TouchStone. As a manager, it's also achieving the results that I need with my employees. So this is a great process. Any version of this that you can come up with or that you like to implement and use, this is a great way to make sure that you're giving time to your employees in an effective way. In the end, it also is a time saver, and you may have to prove this to yourself. I'm sure I could prove it to you. If you start saving things for the meeting, it's going to cause you to be more efficient. So if there's something that's an emergency and I need to go tell you right away, it's a big red flag, then obviously go deal with that. But if it's something that can wait for the meeting, wait for the meeting. It gives you more time to think about it. You're not interrupting them. You're not interrupting yourself. You're not interrupting another person. Put it into the meeting agenda form and save it for the meeting. If you do this as a manager efficiently, it's a great time management saving tool, and it's also going to show you over time how effective these meetings can be.